Hello dear viewers, welcome back again to this channel on biology. Today we will start chapter 6 and talk about cell division, and this topic is for the 4th formers. Now chapter 5 will be also covered in due time, the chapter on enzymes. So today we're going to learn some important terms such as somatic cell, gamete, diploid and haploid. Alright, so let's start now. This lesson involves subtopic 6.1 on cell division, and the following are the learning outcomes. Firstly, after the lesson, we should be able to describe or state or explain karyokinesis, which is nuclear division, and B, cytokinesis, which is cytoplasmic division. Secondly, we must be able to describe the terms haploid, diploid, chromatin, homologous chromosomes, paternal chromosomes, and maternal chromosomes. Let us discuss the necessity for cell division. A popular question, especially structured question, is as follows. State the roles, functions, or importance of cell division, or what is the necessity for cell division. 3 to 4 marks. Let's discuss the answer. Firstly, cell division helps produce new cells to replace dead cells. Because cells in a person's body will grow, divide, and finally die, so they need to be replaced. Or the cells may have been damaged. For example, if there's a cut or a wound on the skin, the cells will be damaged. So, cell division is needed to produce new cells to replace the dead or damaged cells. And please do not write replace dead, repair dead cells. Okay, repair dead cells is wrong, but you can say replace dead damaged cells. Okay, repair is for tissues. Now repair the tissues. Okay, so I think it's better to stick to one answer. Replace dead and damaged cells is a good one. Okay, so for a person who has a cut or wound on the skin, if he wants the wound to heal, he has to allow his body to produce new cells and slowly close up the wound. As you can see in the picture of the skin here, there is a layer colored red here underneath the top layer of cells, of skin cells. This layer is able to carry out cell division to produce new cells to heal the wound. Produce new cells that will slowly cause the wound to close up, okay, as the new cells, new healthy cells are produced. Now, another reason for cell division is that cell division produces new cells for the growth of an organism, for organisms that are still growing. Okay, so like this plant, if it has germinated from the seed, it will need to carry out a lot of cell division in order to produce new leaves and to become bigger and bigger. I can take the example of a zygote that is formed through fertilization. To develop into a fetus and a baby, it will need to carry out cell division and produce more cells for its own growth. Okay, so cell division produces new cells for the growth of a multicellular organism. Now, for unicellular organisms such as amoeba amoeba species, cell division actually helps to produce new offspring. So in chapter 2, I think, yes, chapter 2, we've already discussed how amoeba carries out asexual reproduction, and that is by binary fission. So binary fission is a form of cell division, okay, where the amoeba will first allow its nucleus to undergo fission, or the nucleus will divide and then the cytoplasm will divide. Okay, and finally 2 daughter amoebae are formed. So new offspring was produced through cell division or binary fission. We have already discussed the importance of cell division. So body cells produce new cells through the process of cell division. What are the two stages of cell division? They are A, karyokinesis, which involves the division of the nucleus, and B, cytokinesis, which involves division of the cytoplasm. So the word karyo here has something to do with the nucleus. Here is a parent cell, for example, a skin cell, or it could be the cell of a unicellular organism like amoeba species. So in the first stage, there will be the division of the nucleus or karyokinesis. Here we see the nucleus dividing to form two new nuclei, and this is followed by cytokinesis. In fact, cytokinesis sometimes occur at the same time as or a little bit later in the process of karyokinesis. So here's a furrow, cleavage furrow forming to divide the cell into two daughter cells at the end of the process. Two new daughter cells are formed at the end of cytokinesis. Let us now study the terms that are used in cell division. Now, many of the terms will be new to the Form 4 students. Do not worry about that. Just be patient with yourself, and if you don't understand, replay the video. That is the benefit of videos. You can replay them and listen once again, a few times to the explanations. Another thing you can do to help yourself understand and memorize is to jot down the definitions in your book and the notes in your notebook. As you write them down, you will gain more understanding, okay, into all the contents of the lesson. And after that, memorize them. And as you memorize, you also begin to understand more and more, okay? So another thing is always look out for examples. Other than the definition, which you have to memorize, look out for the examples, which will help you to relate the content matter to everyday life also, okay? So let's look at the first term, somatic cell. The word somatic comes from the word soma, meaning body, okay? So these are normal body cells found in the body, but excluding or apart from gametes. Kecuali gamete, excluding. That means they don't include the gametes. So the other type of cell are the gametes, apart from somatic cells. Now, so somatic cells are normal body cells, excluding gametes. And somatic cells are not involved in fertilization and reproduction. They have other functions, okay? So examples are muscle cell, white blood cell, and neuron, okay? For example, the first one is a muscle cell. The second cell here is white blood cell. The third one here is a neuron. What is a neuron? A nerve cell. And the fourth one here is an epithelial cell, okay? So be able to state some examples of somatic cells. They are not involved in the process of fertilization and sexual reproduction. Then in the body of humans, we refer to human beings. In the body of human beings, other than somatic cells, there are gametes, which form a small percentage only of all the cells in the body, okay? So gametes are reproductive cells involved in fertilization. So for human beings, they reproduce through sexual reproduction. And for sexual reproduction, gametes are needed. Gamete from the male parent, one gamete from the male parent is called a sperm. Okay, we'll fertilize a gamete from the female parent, which is the ovum. So these two are gametes. And then fertilization means the fusion of the sperm with the ovum to form a zygote. And the zygote will then undergo cell division and develop into a fetus, a baby, and then the new offspring. It becomes the new offspring. So gametes are reproductive cells involved in sexual reproduction, and they are also, of course, involved in fertilization to produce the new offspring or child. Okay, So examples of gametes are sperm and ovum in the animals, and for plants we also have to know the gametes. The male gamete for plants is found in the flower, in the yellow part here called the anther. The anther produces the pollen grains which are yellow in color. You see the yellow powder on the anther of flowers, and that pollen contains the male gamete for plants. Then for the female gamete, the ovum, the female gamete is the ovum or egg cell, is found in the ovule inside this blue structure here, and the ovule is found in the ovary. It's located in the ovary. This structure that looks like a vase, the lower part here is the ovary. Okay, so ovum is found in the ovule in the ovary. Okay, just a brief idea. A sperm is located or produced by the testis, which is the reproductive organ for males. Ovum is produced in the ovary, the reproductive organ for females. Okay, so you must be able to state examples of gametes. That means the sperm and ovum for animals, and for plants, pollen and ovum. Okay, usually we give the examples for animals, sperm and ovum. Right, so these are two different types of cells, somatic cell and gamete. The next term we are studying is diploid cell. So what is the meaning of diploid cell? D here means two. So a diploid cell is a cell that contains two sets of chromosomes, or is denoted by the term 2N, two sets. Okay, so two sets of chromosomes. N stands for set. Okay, what is a set of chromosomes? A set of chromosomes is a collection of chromosomes of different sizes and with different genes. That means a collection of different types of chromosomes. Okay, so let's see how a diploid cell is formed. It starts off with the process of fertilization. Here is a sperm, okay, and we only show 3 chromosomes here. Okay, if it's a human sperm, it should have 23 chromosomes, but we just use a hypothetical situation. Sperm has 3 chromosomes, let's say, and there's one long chromosome, one medium-sized chromosome, and one short chromosome. So these 3 chromosomes are all different from each other. They carry different types of genes, right? So the sperm contains one set of the different types of chromosomes from the father to be passed on to the next generation, to the offspring. And the ovum also contains one set of chromosomes, okay, from the mother, corresponding chromosomes. There's also one chromosome number 1, one chromosome number 2, one chromosome number 3 from the mother. Okay, the mother's version of the chromosomes. So mother's ovum also has one set of the chromosomes. So if the cell has one set of the chromosome, it's called a haploid cell. So gametes are all haploid. They have only one set of the chromosomes, okay, for that particular species of organism. So during fertilization, the sperm will fuse with the ovum. So the one set of chromosomes from the sperm will be combined with the one set of chromosomes from the ovum. Okay, they'll come together in one nucleus that is formed in the diploid zygote. Okay, so when the sperm and ovum fuse, get the zygote that contains 2 sets of chromosomes, the red set from the sperm and the yellow set from the ovum. So that's why we say that the diploid cell has 2 sets of chromosomes. One set are the paternal chromosomes from the father, and the other set are the maternal chromosomes from the mother. That's given through the eggs, through the egg. And the paternal chromosomes are given through or contributed through the sperm, okay, to the offspring. Then this diploid zygote will develop into the offspring of the child by undergoing a cell division known as mitosis, where each daughter cell formed from the division of the zygote and the division of the other cells will be the same, okay, as the first cell here. They will also have 2 sets of chromosomes. Okay, So when the child is formed and produced, it is the child is basically a diploid organism too, just like the parents. The only stage when a human being produces haploid cells is in the formation of gametes. Okay, the gametes are the haploid cells. Other than that, the normal body cells are all diploid. Okay, the somatic cells are all diploid. So if we look at a cell which is diploid, which has two sets of chromosomes, one from the father, one from the mother, we will find that for each chromosome, each type of chromosome, there are two copies. Okay, so first copy is from the father, the paternal chromosome, and the second copy of chromosome is from the mother, the maternal chromosome. So together they make a pair of chromosomes known as a pair of homologous chromosomes. Homo meaning the same. So homologous chromosomes are a pair of chromosomes with the same structural characteristics, same length, same shape, same position of centromere. Here, this is the centromere, the same position, and also having the same type of genes. Okay, so there are three pairs of homologous chromosomes here. The pair of long chromosomes, the pair of medium-sized chromosomes, and the pair of short chromosomes. So going back to our discussion on diploid cell, a diploid cell is defined as a cell that contains two sets of chromosomes, or 2n, and there are two copies of each type of chromosome. For example, chromosome number 1, you have a paternal chromosome number 1 from the father and a maternal chromosome number 1 from the mother. Okay, so looking at this picture too, you can see that it's a diploid cell. How do you know it's a diploid cell? There are two copies of the long chromosome and two copies of the short chromosome. Okay, so the length of the chromosome, if they are different, it means that they carry different genes. Okay, and then we color one chromosome black, one chromosome red or white. We leave it white, you can leave it white. It's because the different colors will differentiate the paternal chromosome from the maternal chromosome. Okay, we use color to differentiate paternal chromosome from maternal chromosome. Okay, so as long as the cell has two copies for each type of chromosome, it is a diploid cell. Two copies. So all somatic cells are diploid cells. The normal body cells like the nerve cell, muscle cell are all diploid cells. Okay, having two sets of chromosomes, or two copies for each type of chromosome. For humans, 2n equals to 46, meaning in a diploid cell, there are 46 chromosomes. But in the 46 chromosomes, right, are all these 46 chromosomes different? No, actually there are two copies for each type of chromosome. So how many different types of chromosomes are there? 46 divided by 2, you get 23 different types of chromosomes. Humans have 23 different types of chromosomes in the diploid cell, but there are two copies of each, so you have to times 2, and that's how you get 46 chromosomes in each diploid cell. Okay? Right, another thing is that there's a centromere, a circular structure here near the center of the chromosome, or at the center of the chromosome, which we just draw inside. So this will be discussed in the centromere will be discussed when we talk about cell division. Now, haploid cell, the word haploid comes from the word half, meaning half the number of chromosomes compared to the diploid cell. So haploid cells have only half the number of chromosomes compared to diploid cells. For example, if our diploid cell has 46 chromosomes, the haploid cell, or the gamete, gamete is a haploid cell, will have 23 chromosomes. Okay, definition, a haploid cell is a cell that contains only one set of chromosomes, as compared to diploid cell that has two sets. So one set of chromosomes that are all different from each other. For humans, it will be from chromosome number 1 to chromosome number 23. One chromosome number 1, one chromosome number 2, etc. until the 23rd chromosome. Now, there's only one copy of each type of chromosome in this cell. One copy. So gametes are haploid cells. The sperm and the egg are there, all haploid. Now, let's say you are asked to draw a haploid cell from a diploid cell that's given. So how do you draw the haploid cell for this diploid cell? It's very easy. Just take out one copy of the long chromosome and one copy of the short chromosome. Take out one copy of each type of chromosome. Just one copy, and draw it in the cell. So here I draw the black chromosome from here and the black chromosome, or you can even draw a mixture, the long black chromosome with the short red chromosome. It's okay as long as there's one long chromosome and one short chromosome. Okay, so one copy of each type of chromosome. For humans, n equals to 23, meaning that in the haploid cell, there are 23 chromosomes, which are all different from each other. 23 different types of chromosomes, which are different in size and types of genes carried. Now, to reinforce our understanding, let us make a comparison of a diploid and haploid cell. Okay, so the aim here is to learn to use the terms in the right way. For example, this cell, the cells can be termed as diploid or haploid cells, but we cannot say diploid or haploid chromosomes. Some students write diploid or haploid chromosomes. There are no such thing as haploid chromosomes, but they're haploid cells. Okay, so make sure you use the terms correctly. So let's test ourselves. Now let's say this is cell A and this is cell B. Okay, so on this side is all the description about cell A and this side for cell B. So the cell in cell A here, cell A is in what condition? Diploid or haploid condition? Yes, diploid. How do we know that? Because there are two copies of the short chromosome, two copies of the medium-sized chromosome, two copies of the long chromosome. So it is called a diploid cell. Okay, that's the easiest way to find out. Now this cell, the B, is in haploid condition because there's only one copy of the short chromosome, one copy of the medium-sized chromosome, one copy of the long chromosome. Now sometimes you can be asked, you're given this cell, the diploid cell, then you can be asked to draw the haploid cell that's produced from there, the gamete that's produced from the diploid cell. So it's very easy. You just take out one long chromosome, one medium-sized chromosome, and one short chromosome. The chromosomes must be of different lengths. And these are all taken out. Okay, the different types of chromosomes are taken out to draw and put inside, draw inside a cell. Okay, you cannot have two short chromosomes and then one medium-sized chromosome, okay, in the haploid cell, because then there'll be two copies of the short chromosome. So it's wrong. It's not a haploid condition. There must be only one copy of each type of chromosome, and the types of chromosomes are represented by the different chromosomes of different lengths. Okay, so in A there are how many sets of chromosomes? Sets, not pairs, sets. There are two sets, the red set and the yellow set. Okay, so the color will differentiate, help you to differentiate the paternal chromosomes from the maternal chromosomes. So it's a set of paternal chromosomes plus a set of maternal chromosomes. But in diagram B, how many sets of chromosomes are there? Only one set. Because one set comprises one short chromosome, one medium-sized chromosome, and one long chromosome for this set. Okay, for these cells. Now, there are how many copies of each chromosome in this cell? Of each chromosome? 2, correct? So if you look at the long chromosome, there are 2 copies. Same with the others. For the diagram B, there is how many copies of each chromosome? 1. Okay? So that this is part of the definition for haploid condition also. Then in cell A, there are 3 pairs of, what is the term for that? A pair of what chromosomes? Homologous chromosomes. For example, this is a pair of homologous chromosomes. So 1 pair, 2 pairs, 3 pairs. So in each pair, there is a paternal chromosome and a maternal chromosome. Okay? Now for diagram B, there are single chromosomes without pairs. They're just single chromosomes, and they don't have the member with them, the copy that's similar to them there. Okay? This slide shows us one set of human chromosomes. So this set is from the father and is contained in the sperm. You can see that there's a chromosome number 1, which is the largest chromosome, and followed by chromosome number 2, which is shorter a bit, and so on. So the chromosomes are arranged here according to descending size. Okay, it is done by a lab technician. They can take a photograph of chromosomes in a white blood cell, for example, and after that they can separate out the chromosomes. But in this case, it's only one set of chromosomes, whereas white blood cell has 2 sets of chromosomes. This one set of chromosomes is found only in the gametes, like the sperm, and the other set of chromosomes, one set of chromosomes is found in the ovum, is from the mother. Okay, so one set of chromosomes contains chromosome number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so forth until number 22, and then there's a sex chromosome there. Okay, and this one also, there are corresponding chromosome number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until number 22, and a sex chromosome. Okay, so during fertilization, these 2 sets of chromosomes will combine together, and that's why you get a child with 2 sets of chromosomes in each diploid cell, and we can write 2n equals to 46. Okay, let us have a look at an interesting picture called a karyotype. A karyotype is a photograph that shows the number and structure of chromosomes in a diploid somatic cell of an organism, such as a human being. So it is simply a picture of a person's chromosomes from a diploid cell of the person. Now, in order to get this picture, actually, the chromosomes were isolated, stained, and examined under the microscope. And then pictures were taken of them, and after that, the pictures of the chromosomes were enlarged, and then the pictures were cut out, and the chromosomes were arranged according to their size and type. Okay, and usually these chromosomes come from the white blood cells, for example, which is a diploid cell. So here we can see that there are altogether 22 pairs of chromosomes plus the sex chromosome X and Y. So altogether there are 23 pairs of chromosomes, where there are 2 copies of each type of chromosome that have the same length and the same structure. So why is that so? Now, this is because every human being has 2 sets of chromosomes in each of the diploid cells. One set is from the father and one set from the mother. For example, we can use black to denote the set from the father, okay, and red to denote the set from the mother. So for every pair of chromosomes here, we can see that there is one chromosome from the father called the paternal chromosome, and one chromosome from the mother called the maternal chromosome. So these 2 chromosomes that have the same length and shape, and they also carry the same type of genes, are called a pair of homologous chromosomes. The word homo here means the same. Okay, so a pair of homologous chromosomes are 2 chromosomes with the same structural characteristics, such as the same length, shape, and type of genes. And one copy is from the father, called the paternal chromosome. The other copy is from the mother, called the maternal chromosome. Okay? So they share the same type of genes. That means they have the same type of genes. For example, let's look at chromosome number 9. On chromosome number 9 is a gene for blood group. It's the gene for blood group. Okay? So mother will contribute 1 gene for blood group to the child, and so will father. And these genes are at the same location. They are at the same location on a pair of homologous chromosomes. So for the gene for blood group, mother may contribute the gene for blood group O, but father may contribute the gene for blood group A. So the versions of the genes may be different, although the type of gene that they carry are both the same, and is both on chromosome number 9. Okay? But between different chromosomes, the genes carried are different, of course. Let's say we compare chromosome number 9 to chromosome number 10. the genes on chromosome number 9 are different from that on chromosome number 10. Okay? And so we can see here that the chromosomes are named after numbers, with chromosome number 1 being the longest chromosome. And arranged down until the pair like chromosome 22, this pair are very short and very small in size and carry less genes. And the last set of chromosomes or pair of chromosomes are the sex chromosomes. So in this case, the sex chromosome is XY. So do you think this is a male or a female? Yes, it's a male because of the Y chromosome. Think of boy, B-O-Y. Boys have the letter Y in the word, and so the Y chromosome, okay, is found only in males and not females. Females have the sex chromosome XX. So here are the definitions again. Here's the definition for homologous chromosomes. As we have discussed, there are two chromosomes with the same structural characteristics such as same length, size, shape, and type of genes. One is from the father, called the paternal chromosome, and one is from the mother, called the maternal chromosome. So you can be asked to circle a pair of homologous chromosomes. So you can circle two chromosomes of the same length. But they should have different colors to denote the paternal chromosome and differentiate it from the maternal chromosome. Now, how do we describe this cell? What is the 2n number in this cell? So first of all, is this a diploid cell? Yes, because the chromosomes, for each chromosome, there are 2 copies. So count the number of chromosomes. There are 4. So 2n equals to 4. Therefore, the haploid number n equals to 4 divided by 2 is 2. So here again, there's another cell. Now, how many chromosomes are here? First of all, let us circle the pair of homologous chromosomes if we're asked to do that. So what is the 2n number, the diploid number here? Again, ask yourself, is this a diploid cell? Yes, the chromosomes exist in pairs, or there are 2 copies of each type of chromosome. Okay, 2 copies of the medium-sized chromosome, for example. So if it's a diploid cell, what is the 2n number? 2n equals to, just count the number of chromosomes. Should be 6. So n equals to 6 divided by 2, that will be 3. Now, the next term that we need to be able to define or explain are paternal chromosomes and maternal chromosomes. So let's say you're asked to discuss or explain about these 2 chromosomes. So you can talk about diploid cells. Here, let's have a look. In diploid cells, there are 2 sets of chromosomes. So one set is the paternal chromosomes, which originate, meaning which come from the male parent. So this is the definition or the explanation for paternal chromosomes. And one set of maternal chromosomes which originate from the female parent. Okay? Paternal chromosomes can be represented by the red chromosomes here, the sets here, and maternal chromosomes by the yellow set, represented by the yellow set. Now, number 2. So from there we get the term homologous chromosomes, which are a pair of paternal and maternal chromosomes which have the same structural characteristics. That's the definition for homologous chromosomes. Same length, shape, position of centromere. That means the centromere is here in the same position, not higher up than the other or lower down. They're all the same position, the centromere. And genes also, they have the same type of genes. So this is a pair of homologous chromosomes. The red medium-sized chromosome with a yellow medium-sized chromosome. So one is the paternal chromosome, the other is the maternal chromosome. However, the genes, the chromosomes may have different versions of a gene. For example, paternal chromosome may have gene for blood group O. Maternal chromosome may have gene for blood group A. So the versions of the genes may be different, although they carry the same type of genes that is for blood group. Okay? And finally, one copy of the homologous chromosomes is from the father and one from the mother. Okay, so here's a comparison between somatic cell and the gamete, okay, as a revision. Right, let's try to answer this question, which can be asked in the exam. Comparison. In an organism, body cells are divided into two types. Okay, first one are the somatic cells, and the reproductive cells are called what? Yes, gametes. Okay, somatic cells. What type of cells are they? Normal body cells, apart from gametes. And examples are nerve cell, epithelial cell, white blood cell, and muscle cell. Gametes are what type of cells? Reproductive cells, such as sperm, ovum, or pollen in the plants. And all these cells can undergo fertilization. Secondly, somatic cells are produced through the process of division called mitosis. Process of cell division called mitosis. Gametes are produced through the process of another type of cell division as called meiosis, which we will study later. Now, a somatic cell has a what number of chromosomes? Diploid or haploid? Diploid. Okay? This means that every somatic cell contains how many sets of chromosomes? 2. The word D means 2. So 2 sets of chromosomes, or how many N? 2N. Now, for gametes, the cell has what number of chromosomes? Haploid or diploid? Haploid, meaning only half the number of chromosomes compared to the diploid cell. This means that the cell contains how many sets of chromosomes? Only 1 set, as compared to diploid cell, which has 2 sets of chromosomes. So in a normal human somatic cell, 2N is equals to how many? 46 chromosomes. Okay, that's the normal diploid number of chromosomes in our cells. In a human gamete, however, N equals to how many? Half, right? 23. Okay. The last difference between the somatic cell and gametes are somatic cells are found in most of the body tissues, so they are located in most body parts, whereas gametes are located in only certain organs. These are the reproductive organs where they are formed. What are the reproductive organs in animals? Testes and ovaries and testes. Okay, and ovary and anther in plants. These are the reproductive organs in the plants. Right. So here are 2 questions for you to try, where you have to draw the cells. Okay, and next week we will discuss the answers. Question 1, draw a diploid cell where 2N equals to 2 and 2N equals to 6. And question 2, draw the haploid cells. Now these 2 questions are important to test your understanding of diploid and haploid cells, especially when we are going to talk about the cell division process later on, mitosis and meiosis. Okay, so answers will be given in the next video, which will be coming up soon on cell cycle, probably tomorrow. 1 day after today, I will be uploading the cell cycle video, which has already been prepared. Okay, more or less. So see you then. Thanks for watching, and take time to digest what you have studied and also to memorize it, and you will become better and better in this topic. Okay, so all the best, and see you in the next video.